Welcome back, everybody, to the Wednesday morning roundup, where we talk about the stocks as they have moved into today and heading into the weekend. Now we know that generally when on Thursdays are usually down days, Fridays are usually up days. When we close up big on Fridays, we got a nice big bar there. Well, now we're looking at how many bars we got heading into the next week. We only got a couple bars heading in. Maybe we're going to stay steady and continue to push higher. If we're looking at some weakness at the end of the day on Friday, most likely we might be a little bit of a pause on Monday before heading higher on Tuesday. So you got to pay attention to these different market movements and what's coming in and what looks like what's going out. All right, so let's take a look at what we got going on this morning, and hopefully it'll help you get to Friday. And then on Friday, depending on what kind of day we have, is on kind of give us an indication of what we're going to be looking at on Monday. All right, back in. But that takes timing, and you got to be careful there. All right, so anyway, I'm going to get off the soapbox. I'm going to get into this Wednesday morning because it's going to take a minute as well. So we got to go. So we're going to start off with the S&P, and I got the 1 year daily chart up because I wanted to point something out that I noticed on the S&P, and that was it looks a lot like it did back here. Okay, this was a high at one point, and when it sold off and get dropped all the way down here. Okay, now as you can see, we're kind of mimicking what we did here in the past. All right, now on this bar here, okay, this still looks strong as far as today is concerned. If we go 3 months in a day, you're looking at this pullback, you're pushing up, you're retesting this high. Now you retest this high here again. Now you got this nice big bar come in off the 20, all right, which should give it strength. All right, and you got this little pause in here. Okay, and then we're taking that pause out with this bar here on 826. So that's today's bar. In the pre-market, what am I doing? I don't want to do that. In the pre-market, let's take a look at the pre-market. All right, we know we're up here somewhere. Okay, let's go back 3 months in a day now. Okay, so we know we're up here. We closed here at the high of 6466.89. Right here, the high was 6468.37. Okay, so we know we've taken this bar out. So we should continue to push higher to retest this 6485 area. And once we get through here, we're going to probably come back and retest that for some support. All right. Now, one thing we got to watch out for is the indication here off this 20 is that we're going to go higher. But once we do get higher, we don't want to get up into that bar and have it go up, close out on us, and then drop back down. That's what we don't want to happen. But we can't worry about that. We have to worry about that as that begins to happen, because you can't pick the high, and you know what I mean. I mean, you can try to pick it, but the likelihood is that you ain't going to pick the exact top. Okay. But we do know that this coming in shows some strength after this move here. All right, but we do have a lot of distance between our 20 and our 200, but our 9 and our 20 are pretty tight. And as you can see here, right, they're like they're pretty strong as a team. Okay, doesn't mean it won't break down like it did here, but you can stay in it until it breaks it, and then you can act accordingly on your trading plan. But when we got back up here, we hit this, tested once, tested twice, third time, and it failed. So we're getting back up in here, testing it once, testing it twice. So we're not sure if it's going to be our push through and come back and fail, or if we're going to push through and come back, support, and continue higher. That remains to be seen. All right, and this is the S&P 500, and I spent a lot of time on it already. And so and that's going to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to show some weakness heading into the weekend. So the weekend of the 30th, we know that we have some resistance in this area here at 112,000, and we're putting in this little doji right here, this little red doji, in the pre-market on the 25th, which is today. No, today is the 27th. I'm sorry, on the 27th. We're putting in a little bit of a doji in the pre-market. Now, Bitcoin has been running and has been looking pretty good as far as this area is concerned, in the 107 area. We can see here it tested, finally broke through, couldn't do it, flipped up, couldn't do it, pulled back, and then it finally found its footing. Enough buyers back down in here, and then it took off at around 99,000. And we hit that high at 125. Okay, so Bitcoin looks like it wants to continue to pull back, maybe back into this 107 area, and then maybe go back to retest, or who knows, it may be giving it up and coming on back down in here to pick up a whole lot of people that are waiting to get in at a cheaper price. We'll see how that works out on Bitcoin. Next up is going to be oil, and oil continues to sell off. And I'm using the 1 year, I think this is a 1 year chart. Yeah, 1 year in a day chart. Alright, and if we pull it back, alright, we can see oil took a big, down in here was when the president was talking about drill baby drill, and it pumped up. But now you see it's giving it all back, and it's taking that out. So, if you got to end up here, you're in trouble. Because it sold off, and now it's down here. Maybe find some support at around $62 or so. This might be our bottom down here. We'll see. But we come down, touch, pump up, pull back, make a bottom, come up, find support, continue higher. So we'll see how that works out. All right, next up is Ethereum, and Ethereum, of course, is doing the opposite. It first it does its own thing, then it mimics Bitcoin, then it sells off, then it starts to do its own. At least that's how I would play it. All right, next up is going to be the Dow, and the Dow is doing it. Okay, we went up here, got rejected over here. Got rejected, went all the way down here and pushed all the way back up. And now it retest once, retest twice, and this time the third time, and the fourth time was the charm, broke through. Alright, now we come back to retest for support. That's a good sign on the Dow if you want the Dow to continue to go on higher, this retest of support. Okay, let's go closer and get a closer look on the Dow. So we've got a nice bar here pushing through. That's a pretty big bar. Alright, so we know there was some strength coming in here. Alright, now this pullback to retest is a good sign. Now we may get another pullback to retest again, but as long as we don't break this, or as long as we don't close below this $45,000 area, 45,000 area, we should be okay to continue higher. Let's look at Nvidia real quick, which is showing like it wants to go back to retest this $184 area. We need to get through that, come back, check for support, and continue higher. But because Monday may be a down day because we have so many bars coming in strong heading into the weekend. Alright, so that's all I got for now. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please like and subscribe so that you can get this out to other people who may be interested in trading or maybe interested in learning how to pick certain areas for support and maybe even pick what I consider to be the bottom. I point those out a lot of time in my videos, so some people may be able to pick up on that, some might not. But patience is the game, people. Especially if you have a small account, don't be thinking you're gonna be blowing up and you're gonna become rich tomorrow. All right, it's gonna take a minute to build the money up. So you're gonna be going back and forth. You're gonna be losing some. You're gonna be gaining some. You just want to lose at less than what you're gaining. All right, so always keep making money, and it always costs money to make money. I don't care what you're doing. Even if you got a grass cutting business, you got to go buy the gas to cut the grass. Or if you're using an electric lawnmower, you still got to pay for that power. So it's going to cost you money no matter what you do. So you might as well do it for you and not somebody else. All right. So again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be careful out there. These markets are crazy.